to Film Addict. I am your host, the Film Doctor.
And I'm the best. Oh.
Are you done?
Welcome back to the Addict. We've got another hot film to dissect. The unbearable weight of massive talent. And I would know something about this because I have massive talent.
So we're gonna lie to the people? We're gonna lie to them?
Coming to us from Lionsgate. Thank you, Lionsgate, for the free tickets and the super duper early screening.
Yeah, this movie doesn't even come out for what, a month?
Yeah. We saw this movie like a month in advance. This movie does not come out until the 22nd of April. So we're really going to stay away from the spoilers here. But we want to thank Lionsgate for hooking the brothers up, letting us go see this film early. So you're going to be able to see it in theaters April 22nd.
And without further ado, let's jump right in.
Thank Lionsgate, Michael. Thank Lionsgate. We got it, keep this relationship going,
I thought that you were doing it. I haven't got any gas money, so I ain't thanking nobody till I see $5. Actually, gas has gone up, so I'm gonna say $20 sent, so I can put a little bit to get to work. Okay? When they do that, I start thanking people.
Thing is your fault because as soon as you started asking for gas money, gas prices went up. So I blame you.
Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into our movie review because I am Nick fucking Cage. Now, many of you guys are probably asking me why I did that. Why did I go so long? And the thing is, in a month, you'll know why. You'll know why. It's not just me screaming in the camera. You'll know why.
Yeah, so you want to go first or should I?
You go ahead.
Okay, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nick Cage as Nick Cage. The acting, I thought the acting in here was actually pretty good. This is a very unique concept, but it's a simple film. Basically, without spoiling the movie, this is like a mockumentary / action comedy, buddy comedy film of Nick Cage. And I really thought this was a very unique concept. They attacked this in a different way, and it felt like this movie was basically written for him. I definitely thought there were some funny points. I definitely heard some chuckling coming from Michael throughout the film. So I definitely thought it had its hilarious points. As far as the story goes, again, it's a simple story, but it's layered in a way too that's really, really cool. And I don't want to give it away because if I tell you how it's layered, I'm spoiling the way as well that I found very interesting and I enjoyed. So I thought the story was good. Was it great? Was it the best story ever? No. I thought it was good. I thought it was layered in a very unique way. I liked that. As far as the acting goes, again, Nick Cage killed being himself. I don't know how he doesn't do that, but Pedro Pascal, I thought he was really good in this too. As far as like the villain in this movie, not so good. The villain was the villain. The villain wasn't super great. they still try to do some creative things with camera movements. There's a part where Nick is delivering a line, and the camera's actually like shaking as he's delivering to give it a dramatic effect. And again, if you see this movie, you'll understand why I'm liking that, because the way that the script it's layered. It's a layered film, so I enjoyed that too. Yeah, just from the technical aspects, it was okay. I mean, there wasn't anything that wowed me away, but there was some really good stuff going on here. As far as my grade for me, but I really, really enjoyed this. I really encourage people to see it. If you like Nicolas Cage, you're gonna love this. If you don't like Nicolas Cage, you may not like this movie. So I'm gonna give it a B plus. I really enjoyed it. I don't know that it's in the A range for me. Just thinking about, when I thought about all the movies that we put in that A category, I don't know that it necessarily belongs there, but it's definitely been on my eye. So B plus for me.
Well, I wanted to hear you all the way out, and I'm gonna even start off by saying that the rating I had in mind is a B minus. But just hearing what you had to say and then give that rating, I might switch it by the end. So what I'll say is that, yeah, if you're not a fan of Nicolas Cage or any of his movies, independent or blockbusters, which I would say more independents because that's what he's done a high majority of. If you're not a fan of those, then you may not like this movie. Now, I went into this movie like, man, I don't want to see this bullshit. The title sounds stupid. It's Nicolas Cage. Is this one of his stupid movies like Jiu-Jitsu, which I didn't see and I hope no one else saw, but it looked kind of good from the trailer. But I was like, okay, whatever. And there's Nick Cage playing Nick Cage. I'm going to be honest with you because there's things that I will say that probably sound hurtful compared to my actual grade. And that is that I haven't really seen any good... I have not seen really any good Nicolas Cage acting, we'll say. This persona was the Nick Cage that you see in movies versus like just a standard Nick Cage. If he is like that 24/7 and that's how he talks and acts with his head moving and blah blah, like, then that would probably be genuine. I've never met him for me to know that, but I will say that the acting was just blasé. It was it was like a cheesy comedy, like a buddy cop kind of Rush Hour kind of movie with this villain-esque kind of person and Nicolas Cage. The music, it's okay. Cinematography, the story, I mean, and it's on all of those. But yes, I did laugh throughout it. I did enjoy it.
A lot.
I didn't. We can't say a lot. No, not a lot. I'm Nick fucking. No. But the fact of the matter is that I enjoyed it because it's unique. As a filmmaker, it was a unique story, a unique style. The story wasn't something that reached out and grabbed me, but it was just different than anything that we've seen. For him to play himself inside of this movie, inside of a storyline, where I honestly think if it wasn't funny, that shit would have been shit. If they would have went for a serious aspect of this, it'd have been terrible. The fact
they couldn't have done that. They had to make it a comedy. It couldn't have been serious.
I mean, they could have made it a serious thing. I just don't think that it would have worked. And
It wouldn't have worked, and that's why they did it.
Whoever wrote it as a comedy did well in terms of writing the jokes. But like I said, if Nick Cage is, if he was not like that 24/7 in terms of his persona when he's not filming, it wouldn't make sense to me. If he's gonna play Nick Cage, play Nick Cage. But to me, it looked like the delivery of every Nick Cage persona that we've seen in all of his movies. He's like the independent king next to Bruce Willis, in my opinion. And this movie, I think, is something that definitely should be up there in the top greats next to like Face Off and Gone in 60 Seconds. It is pretty funny, and I can't really say any Nicolas Cage movie that I've laughed at like this. But I don't think he's usually in comedies. He's usually in action. Where this did have action and everything, I think it was more so as like a comedic action film. So like I said, I was going to give it a B minus, but I think that because I did enjoy it just like you did, I wouldn't put B plus, because they could have sold music better. They could have sold acting better. They could have sold did I say music? Yeah, music, acting, and cinematography. They could have sold those better to where it would be inside of that A range, or even high enough to be a B plus. So I'm gonna go with yours as a B.
So here's a question I'll ask you, and again, I don't want to give away the film, which is why there are certain points that I won't touch on. But I don't think at certain parts when he was just being himself, he was playing his character. I think they're attacking where he was, and that's why I said the script was written for him. They're attacking the point of where he is in the story, right? He is that independent king. He's not in those big blockbuster movies. You're not gonna see Nick Cage in a big blockbuster action film. It's just not gonna happen.
Could it be because of his acting?
No.
So why would you not see him in those?
It happens to a lot of people. I feel like the rare exception are people like Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, right? They're a little older, but they still can do those action films. And even sometimes when Samuel does them, they're comedies. Hollywood looks for new, younger action stars, and I feel like you have an age limit at a certain point as an actor where you're not going to be in blockbuster AAA action films. This is like Liam Neeson. Do you think Liam Neeson's going to be in a AAA blockbuster action film?
First of all, when Liam Neeson was
taking part 100.
when Liam Neeson started doing movies, he looked too fucking old, in my opinion. I'll never hear it's Liam fucking. No, I'll never hear that.
That's the point that I was trying to make there. You're great as you're great.
But he was in Jiu-Jitsu, and that was a movie where you had to move a lot and do fight scenes. I think that with CGI...
That's not a blockbuster action film. You get what I'm saying?
Trust me. I did not say it's blockbuster. I did not say...
But that's what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to be... Liam Neeson wasn't going to... Or not Liam Neeson, Jesus Christ. Nicolas Cage wasn't going to play in that...
But think about Morgan Freeman.
Without remorse, he wasn't gonna be the Michael B. Jordan of that movie.
But
he'll never get any of those roles.
Think about Morgan Freeman. He's old and he's still playing in really good movies. Some of them with action. Even when he was in Wanted. Granted, he's not really doing a lot of action.
No, but he didn't do a lot of action films, right? And he's already had his range as an actor. Like, you've seen Morgan Freeman in a bunch of different things. You've seen him in comedies with Bruce Almighty. He's been in comedies, he's been in dramas, he's been in romance. He's not plagued by one title. When you think of Nicolas Cage, you think of action movies, you think of National Treasure, you think of Gone in 60 Seconds, you think of all of those type of films. He's not been in any big dramas or anything like that. No, his staple is action movies. So that's a part of the problem. Not to say that he couldn't do those other things. I don't know because I haven't seen it. But it's easier for someone to transition when they are not in one box.
Not to discredit him and his film catalog, but he's not a good actor. I mean, he got in because of his dad, Frank Coppola.
I thought he was good at Gone in 60 Seconds. I love that movie.
The movie's good, but honestly, because that script was written, you could have put anybody, and that still would have been a good movie.
I don't know.
Just my opinion.
He was great in that. I thought he was great in I thought National Treasure, the first one, was pretty good.
I loved it. I don't know why they did a second one, but then they said they were going to do a third, which I did look forward to. I was like, well, maybe they'll conclude this and there'd be more to it, and they never.
He's got some good stuff. It's just, honestly, guilty pleasure. I thought Next was pretty good too.
I love Next.
Yeah. So this is what he's got some Face Off. He was great in Face Off. He has talent. He has massive talent. You see what I did there?
See, the thing is that because this movie, like you said, was written for him, and it was him playing him and not someone else, to where he had to portray a lot of acting ability, and it was a cheesy kind of comedic action movie, that I think is the only reason why it was done well. And because the jokes that were written for it and delivered for it were done well.
Yeah.
And you put Tiffany Haddish in it. Like, if you didn't put a comedic person in it, it's not to say that Tiffany Haddish's character delivered this great comedic performance.
She was funny when she needed to be, but she was also serious at some points too. So.
Yeah, well, it was what it was.
Yeah, well, you guys should go ahead and check out the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah,
That title was too long.
I don't even say that name. It's like I just call it the Adventures of Lemony Snickets or whatever that long unfortunate events of Lemony Snickets.
Massive Talent starring Nick Cage. You go check that out. It's coming out April 22nd. Again, thank you Lionsgate. And anytime you want to hook us up with some more free passes for your boys to go check this thing out.
Or gas money.
Michael.
Look, hey, if you're gonna plug, I'm gonna plug, okay? $20. That's all I'm asking, all right? And free tickets is nice, but $20. That's all that we have for you guys today. Like you said, please don't forget to check that movie out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Do all that jazz. Send up some smoke signals. Tie a little note to a pigeon's lake. Send it on its way. Maybe put a message in a bottle. Throw it inside the water. Let it reach our shores. And as always, this has been another exciting episode of Filmatic. You are always late. I'm Nick fucking